One of the things that we talked about last week was story scripting, right? And this was essentially you basically just write out your life as a story, like the life that you want, right? Let's say your dream life where you're limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, woo, right? But you're already doing it as if you're already doing it. Let's say you're working at McDonald's now, but you want to be Ric Flair. So you write out a story as if you're already Ric Flair. Like, what's that feel like? What's it like, riding on private jets and banging lots of stewardesses, right? So the NLP principle at play here, one of them is future pacing. Okay. And future pacing is a visualization technique where you basically visualize a future outcome as if you're already there, and you try to make it as real as possible. Okay. And then you sort of work backwards and try to have your subconscious mind fill that gap. Like, how do I get there? But once you visualize something, um, your subconscious can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And so once your subconscious believes it's real because it's visualized it and you've made it so vivid, it has to make it a reality. It wants to close that gap of where your current state is and that future state. It wants to figure out how to make that true. Okay. So, and then another thing is state anchoring. So we already talked about state anchoring a little bit at the beginning. We talked about the 9 Chinese hand symbols, right? But that's anchoring is where you sort of you're thinking of a specific state, right? And so a lot of what we're trying to do is anchor the state of gratitude, being grateful for something, really trying to get at that emotional buy-in for whatever it is that we want to get, right? So when you imagine your ideal future and write it as though it's already happening, your mind starts treating it as normal and achievable. Okay? If you most of the time, the reason why you're not achieving your goals is because at a subconscious level, you don't believe that you can achieve those goals. That's really all it comes down to. One of the things that my coaches are having me do, because I'll tell you what, if you've never done anything entrepreneurial, right? You probably tell yourself, "Oh, I don't want to do that because I like the security of having a 9 to 5 job. Like, I like knowing that paycheck's coming every month, right?" Well, that was that's one of my self-limiting beliefs is, oh man, if I quit my day job and I pursue this full time, there might be months where I don't make any money, right? There might be months where I can't sign any new or enroll any new clients, and that scares the hell out of me because it's not going to be consistent. And then my coach goes, "Well, think about it this way." He goes, Is that true though?" He's like, let's look at this. He's like, "Is it true that your day job is secure?" He's like, they could fire you anytime they want. There's no such thing as job security. Like, they could fire you anytime you want. So are you really secure because you have a 9 to 5 job? No. So how is it any more secure than, working on your own and acquiring your own clients kind of thing? And he goes, "And why wouldn't you be able to assign, a certain amount of clients every month?" He's like, "There's an overwhelming abundant supply of guys that need help." He's like, "You could help 10,000 guys a year and there still would be guys that need help." He's like, there's a never ending supply. So why wouldn't you be able to do this? He goes, "I know guys that do 3 times that, that kind of thing." So he's like, "No, like it's all this negative self-talk and you just don't believe you could do it. So you keep yourself from doing it." You understand? So it's like, these are some of the things that I have to rewire. You understand? So, so an example exercise of story scripting is just write out a journal entry about your life 1 year from now. And then start it with, "I'm so grateful that," or I'm so grateful now that, because that now you really want to anchor that emotion behind it. And once you anchor that emotion along with the repetition, that's really how you start reprogramming that subconscious. Spoken scripting, we talked about that last week. So that is basically the same thing. You're just saying it out loud instead of writing it down. But the NLP principle at play here is auditory anchoring. So you're speaking it. So you're not only like vocalizing it, but you're also hearing it. You understand? And it's also positive suggestion. That's what we're doing too. So hearing yourself say positive, confident statements builds belief and reinforces new neural pathways. Okay. An example exercise. Say, I want you guys to try this right now. Try it with me. Okay. Say, I am confident and capable of achieving my goals 3 times out loud. I am confident and capable of achieving my goals. I am confident and capable of achieving my goals. Okay. Can you feel the difference in your energy when you do that? You can feel it, right? It was funny when like we talk about energy and all that kind of stuff. Like Rollo always shits on it. He's like, "What do you mean energy? What do you mean masculine energy, feminine energy? Like, what does that mean? What kind of energy are you putting out there? It's shit that you could feel. Like you could feel it. Okay. Now you might argue, oh, that's not energy. Those are neurochemicals and whatever. Stop being a nerd. Okay. Oh man. Oh, look at that. Brother Ed sent a $5 super chat. See, here I was thinking that I was going to be able to get through an episode without getting demonetized by you guys monetizing me. But nope. Y'all want to see the boobs. And Ed's a beer club brother. And so he gets automatically bumped up to the next level. So here you go, Ed.
Thank you for the super chats. Boobies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
John says, if current no nice post for you, nurse chick, you're naughty. You're naughty is your audio clip. I think she is replying to the audio clip with that one. All right. So statement scripting, NLP principle, repetition, and linguistic framing. So writing statements in the present tense, like I am successful, eliminates subconscious resistance and builds certainty. It's also, when you're using I am statements, you're framing it like it's your identity too, right? You're making it a statement of your identity. An example is, instead of I want to be wealthy, okay, I want to be wealthy, you write I have a thriving business that supports my lifestyle. Okay, that's in the present tense. Makes you start believing it, right? You start believing you already have it. But if you say like I want, or in the future, or someday I will be, you're basically training your subconscious mind that you don't have it. You don't have it yet. And tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. You only have today. So you gotta say it like you already have it. Oh, let's see here. Okay. So why it's so great scripting? That was a fun one. Why it's so great scripting. We talked about that last week too. So the NLP principle here is meta programs and reframing. What are meta programs? That's an interesting thing. Meta programs are mental filters or patterns that influence how we see the world. Okay, so think internal versus external, or toward versus away. If these certain words, you imagine certain things a certain way, right? If I say, interior versus exterior, you sort of imagine like the inside of a house versus being outside, that sort of thing, right? So the why it's so great allows you to think of things from a positive perspective, like, oh, this thing that I'm talking about is awesome. And then reframing, we talk about reframing a lot, but reframing is just looking at things from a different point of view. Okay, so listing the benefits of your goals shifts your focus from obstacles to possibilities. Man, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if I could just drop everything and go fly around the world on a private jet? Wouldn't that be great? Oh man, that would be so great. It'd be so great to fly around the world on a private jet and then have topless stewardesses serve me champagne. That would be great. So an example of that, right? Write out 5 reasons why achieving your goal would improve your life. I'll tell you what, flying around at a drop of the hat on a private jet with topless stewardess Stewart says, would improve my life immensely. Nurse Chick wouldn't appreciate it, but I would. Damn it. One of the techniques we talked about last week was a letter to a friend. You write out a letter to your friend, kind of like your annual Christmas letter. You know how your friends and family sends you annual Christmas letters about, you know, what they're up to and how life is and how great their family situation is. And, you know, it's all bullshit, but, you know, they send that out. So the NLP principles for the letter to a friend are perceptual positions and narrative therapy. So perceptual positions is interesting, okay, because you're looking at things from other people's points of view. Okay, so one exercise you can do, which is it's a fun thing to do when you're having a negative emotional state, right? You have a negative thought about something. Maybe you're depressed about something. A good way of getting yourself to sort of disassociate from that is using perceptual positions. So what you could do is imagine yourself on a TV screen, like you're the situation that's got you feeling depressed and you can't stop thinking about it. You're thinking about it on a television screen. Okay. Now, and you imagine yourself in that situation. Okay. You're in this situation. You feel like crap. Right. Well, now picture yourself as another person outside of the TV watching the TV. Okay. And imagine that TV is in black and white. Right. So you're someone else now. You're looking at you're looking at yourself as another person watching this play out in black and white on an old black and white TV. Okay. Well, that imagining of you being someone else, and then also imagining the TV being black and white lessens that depressing thought, that depressing thing that you're so worked up about. Now, imagine yourself as another person on the other side of the room, looking at the person who's watching the TV, who's watching you on TV, right? Now you're a third party observing both, right? You can see the TV, you can also see this other person. So you're further disassociating from the emotion itself, right? That's the concept of perceptual positions. It's fascinating. And then we have narrative therapy, which is a form of psychotherapy that focuses on helping individuals reshape their personal narratives or the stories that they tell themselves and their lives. Like a lot of us have certain stories that we tell about ourselves. And these come from our deep psychological beliefs about ourselves and our capabilities and all this stuff. Well, if you change your narrative, you actually can change your outcome. Okay. So describing your success as though you're sharing it with a friend, that's where we go back to a letter as a friend. You're writing out your life as if you've already achieved all these successful things. Well, you're basically writing it from a perspective that you're telling your friend about how great your life is. Okay. And then you're changing the story that you tell about yourself when you do that. And it makes it feel real and achievable when you do that. Okay.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.